over 50 days, 50, and this is a disaster, obviously, and the last defenders, I guess they don't have any ammunition left, so they are hiding in the old Soviet cellars under the old Soviet steel plant, which is a huge part of Mariupol.
Yep.
And maybe you don't know, but in Soviet Union, all the biggest production plants, yes, not necessarily steel mills, all the huge factories, they were constructed.
Shipyard as well.
No, just listen to me. Yes, just listen to me. All the big factories were constructed in such a way to withstand a nuclear hit. So Soviet Union was preparing for nuclear war, so they were constructed to defend against a real nuclear bomb. So now Russians are trying to bomb them out of those hideouts under the steel mill, and it's unsuccessful because it's a really fantastic cellars and fantastic catacombs. I don't know how to call it right. So today it's a discussion whether they will come out, the defenders and the peaceful citizens who are still hiding together with the defenders. And it's a lot of communication. And Putin even had his speech on Russian TV channel saying that they are not going to attack these hideouts because it's difficult to attack. So the thing is that today it will be decided, and I think they will give up, and they will be taken to Russia as the last defenders. And that's a final day or maybe two of Mariupol. And I think after they take it, today or tomorrow, they will regroup and they will attack in the east of Ukraine. And I think in a week or two, maybe two, we'll see a lot of fighting, real big fighting. And east of Ukraine compared to Kiev territory is a huge plain. It's a steppe. It's a huge plain, flat plain. So the fighting is going to be like in Second World War, a lot of tanks going from one side, and they will be met by tanks and artillery from the other side. So it's going to be a lot of lives lost from both sides, actually.
Yes.
So you will read in a week or two a lot of bad news coming from my country.
Yes.
And that's very unfortunate, but if you know, it's a lot of communication now in Western newspapers that Russian president is trying to do some big victory by the day of 9th of May, because for Russian population, it's like a very important day, like sacrosanct day, because it's a day, it's anniversary of the final day of the Second World War, Victory Day, like they love to call it in modern Russia. So they want to show some victory in Ukraine. Yeah, that is the situation. So by before 9th of May, it's going to be a lot of people killed and some territory lost. So going to be a huge fighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It seems like a situation getting more and more complicated and
really complicated, really bad, and obviously nobody knows how it will end. And currently it's a lot of discussion in Europe whether they are going to deliver heavy weapons to Ukraine. And some countries are willing to do this. Some countries, notably Germany, doesn't want to do this for a number of reasons. And I think the major reason is not that they are afraid to provoke Putin. I think the main reason is that they don't have modern army in Germany. So they completely disarmed. They don't have this heavy equipment to deliver. That's my guess.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. People compare to because Korean War, it lasted 3 years between the 1950 1953. According to the data, more than 1 million people died during the Korean War. So it's one of the longest war, and then a lot of damages and death of the people, whether civilian and military personnel during the Korean War. So I saw that the media started comparing the Russian invasion into Ukraine with the Korean War. It may it's not the short-term war. It may last longer than months, already more than months. So it may take quite a long time. Yeah. So
yeah, so far the most compelling comparison of this Russian-Ukraine war is this so-called Finnish war, if you know what I mean. It's a war of Soviet Union against Finland in 1939, I think. When Finland really resisted in a big way, and they defeated Soviet Union, but in the end, Soviet Union regrouped, attacked again, and the Finnish government was forced to sign a peace agreement, and they gave to Soviet Union 15% of their territory, which Russia still owns. I mean, this territory. So they didn't lose the whole country, but they lost quite a big chunk of their territory. So that's a comparison that's most interesting, I think.
yes, yes. Okay. So I think
And interesting thing about Genia, by the way, sorry to add.
yes.
I'm currently looking with my friends in Sweden. I have some Swedish friends. They are trying to find a military mobile kitchen for Genia, second-hand military mobile kitchen, because he's preparing now the meals like in a big way. He's preparing 1,500 meals per breakfast, per lunch and dinner. So it's a lot of meals. And he is still having this food truck, but food truck is something to have for the beer festival, not to feed military regime. So I'm trying to buy the second-hand military kitchen, and it would be, yeah, that's something they really need.
Yes, I think so. So I share with you the WhatsApp group. I was contacted one of the CEO, the NFT startup in Korea. I met with them.
Okay.
But problem is they don't have revenue yet. So that looks like it is not going to be immediate help for Genia's activity now. Second thing is he talk about a lot about the plan. Idea is that if they sell something NFT art through his platform, he contribute like a percentage of revenue as a donation to the like Genia's activity or whatever, and then into the NFT art, they can actually the blockchain is they can record. The fact that they donate money to this for the good purpose. Idea itself very good. I think we may leverage and then talk with another NFT company or the blockchain company. But another issue he mentioned, because I don't have any experience of the charity or this kind of activity, he mentioned because Genia has a PayPal account and bank account, his personal bank account for the donation. So for the individual, for friend, the relative, that works, I think. But for the business, third-party businesses, it may not work because business always look at the issue from through the lens of risk management, right? Like you know that a lot of also bad people try to leverage this Ukrainians sad situation for the personal interest, right? So
Mhm.
I had a quick chat with Jenya. Jenya told me that he's also considering to register his organization or volunteer group as NGO in Ukraine. That way, I think it did
Yeah.
help a little bit, instead of using the personal bank account, PayPal account. If also the individual can contribute just a little bit, but the business, if their interest is aligned, they have a more like a financial capacity to donate money. So so Jennifer also has a lot of experience with this area, so I can have a chat with discussion with Jennifer, Jenya, or get idea.
Sorry, the last part, my connection was a little.
Yulasa,
Yeah.
Did you hear that I was contacted because I published or uploaded Jenya's like a presentation, how he raised money, what he does, and then I uploaded a video. And I was contacted one of a CEO of one of the Korean startup. They are launching the NFT art marketplace platform. So I met with them. I learned a lot from him because I don't have any experience in this world. You do much better more than I do. So, but I learned this time. First thing is business cannot send money, donate money to the personal account, bank account, or the paper account. In order to, if Jenya or other people want to raise money from personal friend, it's okay. But want to scale that activity, scale the fundraising, it's better to register NGO and then have an organization account. That's, I think, a starting point I learned. What else? What else did I say?
David, I actually have a sort of an idea. So basically, the Ukraine Relief OpenSea, they actually were able to raise. I think I mentioned before.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. It's Yatsiu's group company, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, Yasu's a good friend, but
yes,
also,
yes, he's also, my interview guest as well.
Amazing. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yes, that's right.
And, yeah, that's right. That's right. I spoke with him. I've known him for 12 years. He's an amazing person. But I was going to say the Relief UKR, RELIEF, that was actually started by another really young guy in the US. And so this one actually, it's traded 740,000 ETH, just trading. But when it initially launched,
yes,
it already had, it raised, I think, was it 3 million in 30 seconds. And then it went straight to this one, and also Ukraine DAO. Official ones, not so basically if you want to look at official links, or also if you want to send it directly to the Ukraine government, they actually tweeted out their Bitcoin and Ethereum addresses. So one of the ideas I was thinking, because I was actually talking to one of my friends in the gaming company.
Jennifer, did you hear, what I explained about the idea of the Korean startup told me? His idea is, probably you missed it, that part, right? So his idea is, problem is he hasn't started this business yet, marketplace. But his idea is that if he closed the trading of the NFT art on his marketplace, he agree with the owner of the asset to contribute the percentage of the revenue as a donation to the, to Jenya's.
I did hear that part. And what I'm saying is, I want to work with already established crypto exchanges as well as NFT exchanges to go do that, because I already have a lot of artists I know who are willing to do 100% to Ukraine, right? So they're already going to do that, because, for example, for that particular NFT collection, there were 50 artists who donated 100% to Ukraine.
Yeah.
And then it's not like, the OpenSea takes a certain percent. They gave it all to Ukraine. So everyone.
So can we? Can we? That's probably they already doing that.
They are already doing that.
But the problem is we learned that if you donate the money to the UNICEF or the government, it takes a lot of time. Sometimes, or they channel the money. Also, they run the organization, spend the money for their own operation, right? So, do you think is it possible for us to recommend organization and team like a Jenya's one to the those guys to OpenSea or other NFT trading platform, and then have a discussion with them whether they are interested in helping with this organization directly? What do you think?
Sorry, what was the last part you were saying?
What I'm saying is, I understand that a lot of people doing, kind of a donation related to Ukraine, or especially NFT or blockchain, and those guys, active people, right?
So what I wanted to say is that people,
is it parts?
I wanted to ask people to donate. Basically, right now I have friends who have thousands of NFTs, for example. Just sell off your best NFTs and then donate it to Ukraine. Just pledge to donate 10% of your collections to Ukraine. Things like that. There's a lot of other ideas that I've been spinning around in my head. So it's and then the other thing too is my mother friend is the founder of the biggest Asian NFT trading platform, as well as there's other ones who are basically in already those communities, the ape communities, the other ones, where there's actually a special section set up in Discord now where if people want to sell it, then they just give the wallets. So I think that's faster to do it peer-to-peer like that. That's one of the reasons why crypto has been so effective. That's one of the reasons why.
I have a question. Jennifer, do you have time? I know that you are a super busy person wearing so many hats. Do you have a time to take on lead this initiative, and then I can be supportive and the other people?
I'm trying to do that. So what I'm trying to say is I'm running it by you guys right now in terms of people selling off hey, 10% of your collection. If your collection of NFTs is worth $1 million, 100,000 would go a long way, for example, right?
Yeah.
So basically,
also, guys, I had a chat with the Korean NFT guy. He's CEO of the Korean startup. He mentioned that there is a idea to give recognition to the buyer and seller of the NFT art as a motivation incentive, right? He said that they can record that the fact that they donate the percentage of revenue or sales proceed as a donation, they can record it the blockchain, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why it's so effective is that basically when the NFT or whenever the community does that donation, they're like, hey, I did 10 ETH over for Malala Fund, for example. One of the reasons why I supported some of the NFT collections I have is because they were very transparent about we're gonna, as soon as we hit a milestone, we'll do that donation. So what I'm trying to tell you is that can already be baked into it. Otherwise, people will rapidly just sell off the NFT and then just do that anyways. The floor price will tank if people are not following through on their commitments, right? So one of the reasons why I've seen some of the other NFT projects do really well at the beginning and then not is because they didn't follow through on some of their commitments as a community. The best NFTs are supported by the best communities. It's not vice versa. Right. And the other thing I wanted to suggest possibly, but before I go out and do that, I was just wanting to suggest it and throw it out there is for a lot of these platforms that want to, just they're like, oh, I don't have revenue yet and whatever. It doesn't matter. A lot of people are sitting, most people I know don't have just one NFT. They have many. So every little bit counts. I mean, I see for charity too, I've auctioned off piano, concerts. I've auctioned off bags. I've auctioned off things I have, right? So NFTs should be no different. So it doesn't matter if it's someone doing it or not. I remember one of the companies I started, we had no revenue and I donated 100% of the revenue for the first 3 months, once to, women who were getting trafficked. The other one was breast cancer, it just.
Yes.
And so there's actually a particular NFT that I'm about to bid on right now that is in partnership with St. Jude's, with helping the children in Ukraine. So basically, the NFT is going to St. Jude's, which is an amazing foundation in New York City, and they're basically providing on the ground aid to children who are the victims in Ukraine. So I think that it's amazing. So it has to be just dictated out, but also if people just personally have an expensive NFT, they might as well sell it.
Yes. I have an idea. I'd like to ask for your opinion. For example, I think it's a big marketplace NFT platform. They have they are already donating or they're doing some activity support toward the Ukrainian situation. But what if we ask, for example, Jenya or Masha, whoever, I mean, we can trust, we want to support, and then ask them to prepare the Kickstarter style short video presentation with a clear call to action. What we are going to do, I don't think we can push this one solution to the OpenSea or whatever, but we can show with them as an option of a destination for their donation. So if the seller or buyer of that NFT art, if they loved this presentation, if they love this initiative project, they choose to donate the money into this project, something like this.
So
what do you think?
I still think it'll be easier as like like set up a crypto wallet where it's like very transparent where the transactions are coming in and then getting dispersed, only because it's a lot of hassle and there's a lot of fees to transfer between like crypto and fiat.
Yes.
So I think there's ways of doing it, but I would suggest looking at companies who have already done that successfully and then just emulate that instead of reinventing the wheel. Also, we're talking about big NFT platforms like OpenSea and other ones. I'm sure the Web3 community will, like, I'm happy to like start asking around for those who want to contribute to it, but we should have a basic framework set up before we add partnerships. I'm happy to set up partnering like Web3 players. I'm happy to do that. I'm sure that we can get some to like,
since we are barely understand the concept of NFT blockchain, while you are the expert, I think it's great for you to take a lead on that. Give us a direction, and we can work on that.
I think if she does a fully doxed MetaMask, and if it's like Ethereum, which is like I think the easiest one to do right now, then just do like a MetaMask Ethereum, and then just make it like it could be like you can have the DNS domain standwithukraine.eth. Then just use that as a centralized wallet, and then everyone can see the transactions coming in and out.
Yes. Okay. Give us a homework.
Okay.
Action plan and homework.
Yeah, because I can't go do that for you. You can go buy the DNS domain, or if you want me to, I can just let me know which wallet to transfer it to. So I'll put that action item in our WhatsApp. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Okay, so that's that, and then have that wallet attached to the sites that you want, or so that I can start taking payment. Then have the site set up. I'm happy to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and then after the sites are like set up and viable and like very fully transparent, it's like 100% like Ukraine, then I can start like finding partners. Okay.
Okay.
And then even before then, people can also make individual donations to that wallet, and that wallet can be making those donations straight to the official .eth address for the Ukraine government, which they already tweeted out. Okay.
Okay. I'll take a look at the action item and then understand 100% first before I jump in.
I'll type it into the WhatsApp group while
okay.
Set up MetaMask. Link this wallet to the sites we are sites/microsites. 3. Give this wallet address to individuals as well as the sites so they can link their MetaMasks for the ETH donation for all transactions go toward Ukraine's.
And
wallet Ukraine.eth wallet. Does anyone have it?
No.
No.
Twitter.com.
Probably
Ukraine.
you are the only one in that active world. We are a little bit old fashioned.
I just donated towards the government directly. But I mean, let me go find it again. Ukraine, wait, twitter.com/Ukraine, right? That's the Ukraine government. Yeah, it's the official Twitter account of Ukraine. So you can search tweets, I think, to go find it. So twitter.com/Ukraine, and then I'll just write here .eth. You can Google that. So the official Twitter account of Ukraine is Ukraine/Ukraine, and then I'm gonna type. All right. So here it is, the crypto community, and here it is. I'm gonna just type it back out. You guys can, okay, see. So I'm gonna share screen really quickly with you guys, okay? So this is the Ukraine. So all I did was I searched on the Ukraine Twitter, and here are the Bitcoin and Ethereum addresses. This is the official Ukraine Twitter. Am I right? It's the one with 2 million followers. It is verified. So I'm gonna go and type that in here. It's in the WhatsApp now. You guys are free to keep that, copy it, and keep that permanently in the WhatsApp description of the group, so people are not confused. This is the official wallets, the crypto wallets of the Ukraine government.
Okay.
Okay, and then that's it. I am following on my phone, but not on my desktop, so that's why it's not following my desktop. So all I did to find that is I did a Google search, twitter.com/Ukraine, and then I did a space and then .eth, and then I found that exact tweet in February, back when I was giving money. So very transparent. I mean, not giving money, giving crypto.
Okay.
My friends were giving crypto, putting it there. So it's like, those are the addresses. So most of the NFTs are ETH, which is Ethereum. USDT is just the stable coin, USDT, but you can transfer that. It's like $1 sort of USDT. And then Bitcoin for the people who are sending Bitcoin over there. So those are basically the most stable coins right now. They're the ones that are least volatile. So that's the fastest way. So it's now in our WhatsApp group as well. I hope that was helpful.
Okay.
And then I put the steps in the WhatsApp group already as well, for like setting up websites and other things, because I'm not the webmaster. Yeah.
But you are the person who understands that technology best among us.
I mean, anyone with a website can then use your public wallet address to then send it to there. And then also then you are very fully transparent about sending, like, for example, we receive 10 ETH in donations, then be like, 10 ETH just sent, snapshot it to Ukraine. People can see, they can see the contents of the wallet too.
Okay, very good.
Okay, good.
So I think we touched most of what we need to talk about today. Since I mean, we can have a separate. I can have a separate call with Genia to follow up on his initiative separately. Okay, Jonathan, do you have anything to talk about?
Well, first, Jennifer, thank you very much. You're extremely organized and efficient. So thank you very much. That's fantastic. I would say a couple of different things. One of the problems, and I think you both identified it, or at least touched on it, is oftentimes when you're making donations directly to some of these, I'll call it a government fund, it feels great, but the dollars don't necessarily go where you think they're going, if at all. You have zero.
I talk about that too. That's a common problem of the NGO or government organization.
Correct. Now, our organization, we go directly to the ground where we're operating our own now 5 warehouses in Poland and Hungary, and we track everything from the purchased or donation of materials, primarily in the US, fly them over on chartered flights or by sea. We have about 20 containers in the sea now, about a dozen containers in Poland waiting to be unloaded. And the operation keeps getting larger. It's primarily backed by local volunteers. So we coordinate between donations of supplies, food, medical supplies, hospital beds, medical equipment here in the US. We bring them over by sea and by air. Then we centrally distribute where we have specific NGOs that we work with, or we deliver directly, or NGOs come to us and they pick up what they need once we have a better understanding who they are. So there are a lot of different spoken wheel models out there. I do think, we're certainly not the only ones doing it, but I think we're very efficient at it. And we're probably north of about $120 million in direct aid. And most of that is physical goods and supplies. A portion of it is dollars, but most of it is actual physical goods and supplies. So just as an example, as you're getting more traction as to raising money and then where to send it, I would like you all to consider TIGFIF as one of the venues, just because we're very flat and we know where it goes.
That's also fine. But what I'm trying to say is that basically there can be a collective wallet that supports your organization, the other, for example. So that's why I suggested it be standwithukraine.eth.
And I love the idea. It makes a lot of sense. You have a lot of people on the non-traditional economy who do have a variety of blockchain-derived assets. And some of them, they bought them for nothing. They're worth a lot. If they donate them, it's just a feel-good thing. So I think you're absolutely right. You could tap into a very large pool of capital that's really just sitting sort of digitally, idly in the ether, and it can be turned into life-saving goods. So I think your idea is absolutely correct. We have a gallery here in Miami where we also have digital art, NFTs. It's all for charity. It was pre-Ukraine. People love the ideas. People love our parties or our events. People don't buy that much, but they love the events. And we have Max the bartender, so he always wows them. But I'm just saying that I think it's a phenomenal way to raise awareness and engagement. And if you tie the act of giving with a specific either cause or here's the result from X, people still may not transact in crypto per se, but you will inspire them to do something else. One of the interesting things that I've learned over the years in philanthropy is everyone's being asked for money all the time. Everyone's being asked to donate all the time, and people are already becoming donation weary with Ukraine, unfortunately. I mean, you had mentioned that, and God bless you. You had donated early to the government in February. Now we're almost in May. So a lot of people have said, well, I did it. Now, I'm just saying.
So the other thing that's really important, because my family is actually not into crypto. They're real estate and tech. My parents are still asking me to get a real job. So I'm trying to tell you, the other thing that can be done, which I've also done, is some of the media has tweeted out legitimate charity organizations, right? And then it's so I've actually given the ones, there's 10 that were suggested in Fortune magazine. There was this, that were basically all legitimate and vetted organizations. So that's the other sort of route too, right?
No, 100%. Two different things. One, I think you do have a real job, even though I'm a real estate guy, but I think you do. Well, we're on Fox News, CNN every night. they call us out. But again, it was interesting. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who's very connected with a lot of global brands, and I had asked them to call his buddy who's a senior person at Crayola. I'll leave the name out, and say, listen, here's what we do when we have 1,000 orphans that were evacuated from Odessa. They're now in Romania, where we're supplying them with daily stuff, everything from food to paper plates to diapers to you name it. I said, can you ask them for a truckload of crayons? It costs them nothing. It's wax. And I'll pick it up and I'll transport it. So about a week later, I call back. He goes, oh, I meant to call you. All right, thank you very much. That always means you're not getting anything, but we knew we wouldn't. He goes, well, they only give to American Red Cross. Beautiful, wonderful. Everyone knows that the American Red Cross, about 2% of the donations actually get to the end source. They're siphoned off in 7-figure salaries amongst their people.
There's one other thing I would suggest, which I've done for my alma mater and just in general, which is just to do subscription donation, which is basically make it recurring.
That's right. Like even right. What's your alma mater?
Brown University.
Ah, a good one. I'm a Columbia person, but different things. You're absolutely right. You know, subscriptions, they're easy, they're recurring. It becomes an annuity. It could even be, $5 a month, $3 a number. As your family is in real estate, and I've been having this conversation with several of my colleagues who are big operators. I want to mention one other thing very quickly before we sign off. But on a real estate thing, imagine if there was 0.25% added voluntary to people's maintenance. And it's an opt-in, check the box. Do you want to add? And it could be $10 a month then on a, $10,000 a month lease. Those become annuities too, and those can be directed to, let's say, the crypto wallet, whatever you want to call it, and then they can be donated, and people are giving it.
I completely agree. And then even apps, for example, like Uber, apps like Deliveroo, such things like that, or food delivery, they can add a little surcharge basically for Ukraine donation.
Correct. Is anyone, and I put this out, there's only 4 of us here, but in the hospitality industry and the global hospitality industry, one of the things that we're doing is we're working with large operators to recycle their soap and shampoos.
Yeah. So we're working, I don't know if you're in Hong Kong, but basically my neighbor, one of my husband has a hotel. So one of the things we do with the wastage of soap and other things is that we send it along to the Amber Foundation, which collects it all for people who are in need of that, and then sending it to refugees, etc. Because a lot of
absolutely amazing. We're doing a similar thing. We're we're going to be sending over about 150 to 300,000 personal hygiene kits from the U.S. over the next month, and those are primarily a combination of things that have been taken from, let's say, Vegas hotels. We have about a couple of hundred hotels that are now participating. We're looking to expand. We're not in Asia yet. The next step for us is going to be the UAE, but where we're taking them, we reprocess them. So we sanitize, we then repackage, and then we can distribute them as fresh, soaps, shampoos, others, feminine napkins, things like this, is all part of these ongoing kits. This is not just for Ukraine, but right now that the vast majority of everything we have is going to be going there. But this is an ongoing thing that we're doing as well. And there's a for-profit or not-for-profit side. Obviously, the not-for-profit is obviously what it is, but the for-profit is to.
What I suggest actually is that if someone can do an Airtable or have someone with bandwidth do that, then you can link up resources and people. That's something we did early in the pandemic for PPE, with ventilators, PPE, etc. I'm really bad with ops, and I'm really busy with my my 3 kids and stuff right now. They keep coming in and throwing my things down. I suggest that way we can for example, we can have a column for food items, non-perishables, like, feminine hygiene products, sponsoring organizations. One of our portfolio companies, which is a feminine hygiene product, has been donating feminine hygiene products to, those in need constantly. There's a really big one too that my friend invested in the US. That's also a feminine hygiene product company.
On that one, could you make an introduction? Because again, since we have the logistics and we're a 501c3, if there's something to be done, they would get the write-off, we could handle it, and they'd get great PR and social and all the other good stuff.
I'm happy to make the intro. You guys can email me anytime, and I'll just intro the people. Like, one is not a portfolio company, one is a very small, like, one, in the feminine hygiene space, pads and stuff like that. Mighty
Oak started off as tiny acorns.
For sure, but I'm saying that I can put all of that, like, into a spreadsheet or an Airtable or a Google sheet, but I don't have the bandwidth to do that right now because my grandmother is still, like, Hong Kong had a really bad COVID surge.
Yeah.
Oh I hope she's doing okay.
Thank you. She's still on her feeding tubes.
Wow.
So and right now I'm trying to like juggle a lot right now. So I won't be able to be the one to make I'm like, but I can, like, put all the email contacts in there. I'll make email contacts, but I won't be able to be like, if you guys have interns or college students or people, that might be awesome for them to, like, volunteer some time to put together, like, sheets and columns and stuff like that.
No, absolutely. It's a lot of blocking and tackling, and do it where it's a self-serve. People could pre-populate or add.
I'm already getting right now about 3 hours of sleep a night. So I could definitely probably help you guys in another 2 weeks. But in the meantime, happy to make email intros whenever possible, and etc.
Phenomenal.
I'll do what I can to help, because I can't speak for, like, obviously my husband or my father. I can't speak for everybody else. I will just do what I can to help.
Right. I give you permission to speak on behalf of your husband.
I cannot, unfortunately. Like, they are.
Right.
They're. I'm American born. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, you totally understand.
All right. I think it's a long conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, it's time to call to the finish of this conversation. I have to check out. Sorry, thanks.
People auction off their jewelry and stuff like that. Like, I would do that for Ukraine. Just auction things off. Like, there are people right now, like, without, like, basic human rights to, like, food and medicine and, like, living and breathing. So
I'm by the way, hey, hello. I'm by the way posting now on my Facebook page, and I have 30,000 followers, so it's a big Facebook. By the way, for you, in Ukraine, Facebook does everything that Twitter does in the other part of the world, because Twitter is not popular at all in Ukraine. Instead of Twitter, everybody uses Facebook. So I'm posting, and maybe the same in Korea.
Same as Vietnam. Same as Vietnam. Vietnam use Facebook for everything. Yeah.
So I am posting today an auction on my Facebook page. I got a painting drawn by a former politician from Ukraine who is now in exile in London, because she was forced in exile by former government. She used to be the head of National Bank of Ukraine and my very good friend of mine. And she's doing the paintings, and I'm doing this auction. We'll see how it works. But it's also in English, this post, so David, you can see it easily.
Yes, okay. I'll take a look.
In 10 minutes, it will be out. But now I have to check out. I'm very sorry. I have to run to the next appointment. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. Yes, we have a lot.
Yeah, David, check my Facebook. Sorry, I have to run.
Okay.
you guys if you wanted me to play. I'll be playing some Polish music for you guys right now. List 5 Hungarian folk songs for Ukraine.
Okay.
It takes 6 minutes. So I just going to take off my jewelry. And this is just, yeah, I realized that I may as well use my superpower for good. So,
Thank you.
Okay.
I will just, yeah, see you guys.
Yes.
I'll be playing this for you. And
Okay. Thank
yeah,
you.
I mean, you mind bringing me my shoes? And then if you can take the kids to the other room. Sorry, it's really hard for me to, not these. Okay, fine, fine. Sorry, and my computer was like out of batteries this whole time.
No problem. No problem.
For you.
I'll close my video so everybody can listen to the music.
Oh, thank you.
I can close my video. Yeah.
So this is 5 Hungarian folk songs, and it's by the Franz Liszt. I played it when I was 9, and it's for Ukraine, and it's Polish roots. It has Polish roots. So I know I'm live right now. I'm like, my kids are gonna head to the other room.
비디오는 떴어. 하지만 공연을 해준다고 해가지고 우크라이나를. 비디오는 내 비디오는 떴어. 켰어. 왜냐면 내가 비디오를 틀어야기 때문에.
That's for Ukraine. David, I have some more ideas I want to give you offline. I just wanted to share that for you because I know music really heals the soul. And
great.
Thank you, Oppa. Thank you, Oppa. And I will always try to end with a shorter thing. But yeah, I'm boycotting Russian composers right now. I'm sad about that. So hard. So many beautiful
Thank you
Russian.
so much.
Thank you, David, Oppa. And I have one more idea I'll share with you, but I'll just call you about it. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.